LG gaming monitors, especially UltraGear models, sometimes show black screens due to HDMI input issues, variable refresh rate problems, or outdated firmware. A primary cause of black screens on LG gaming monitors is the monitor failing to detect an input signal. This happens when the connection between your computer and monitor is not properly established. First, ensure you're using a certified HDMI 2.1 cable. This guarantees proper signal transmission and compatibility with high refresh gaming monitors. Next, verify that your GPU's output resolution matches the monitor's native resolution, like 1440p or 4K. Mismatched resolutions can cause signal detection failures. Try cycling through the monitor's input options via the on-screen display menu. This can refresh the HDMI handshake and resolve detection issues. Swap cables or try different ports to rule out connection problems. This helps identify if the issue is with the cable or port itself. Finally, faulty ports on either the monitor or your graphics card can cause these signal issues. Inspect for physical damage like bent pins. Variable refresh rate technologies like AMD FreeSync and NVIDIA G-Sync dynamically adjust the refresh rate to eliminate screen tearing during gameplay. AMD FreeSync works with compatible monitors to sync refresh rates with GPU output. However, mismatches can trigger black screens, particularly during transitions between refresh rates. To use VRR, enable it in both the monitor's OSD and your GPU software settings. As a troubleshooting step, try disabling VRR or setting a fixed refresh rate like 120 Hz. Outdated or buggy firmware can cause black screens during boot, VRR activation, or with certain games. Always update your monitor's firmware. Download the latest version from LG's support website. Flash the firmware via USB, following LG's instructions. A factory reset after updating can help resolve lingering issues. Back up monitor settings before updating as a precaution. Begin troubleshooting by visually inspecting all cables and ports for damage. Look for bent pins, frayed wires, or corrosion on both HDMI and DisplayPort connectors. This is a quick way to identify obvious physical issues that could cause signal problems. Firmly reseat the HDMI or DisplayPort cable at both the monitor and GPU ends. Unplug completely and plug back in securely to rule out loose connections that can cause no-signal black screens. Ensure the cable is HDMI 2.1 certified for best compatibility. Try a different cable to rule out a faulty connection. Use a high-quality HDMI 2.1 or DisplayPort cable that's known to work with your setup. Faulty cables can degrade signals and cause black screens during high refresh gaming. If using an adapter, remove it to test a direct connection. Adapters can sometimes cause signal compatibility issues or introduce noise that leads to black screens, especially with VRR modes. Manually select the correct input source on the monitor's OSD menu. Navigate to the Input Select option and choose HDMI or DisplayPort explicitly. This ensures the monitor detects the signal correctly and avoids auto-detection issues. Within your GPU control panel, confirm that variable refresh rate is enabled. For NVIDIA users, open the NVIDIA control panel and ensure G-Sync is enabled globally or for specific games experiencing issues. For AMD users, access the Radeon settings and confirm that FreeSync is activated for your monitor. Navigate to your monitor's on-screen display menu and ensure that FreeSync or G-Sync compatible mode is activated. If issues persist, experiment with different variable refresh rate ranges if your monitor allows it. Sometimes limiting the maximum refresh rate can improve stability. Many users experienced black screens on the LG 27GN950B monitor while playing Valorant with VRR enabled. The issue was resolved by updating to firmware version 4.15, which optimized FreeSync detection and stabilized HDMI connections. The LG 32GK95GB model faced widespread black screens following a firmware v3.0 update, primarily due to HDMI input drops. Users resolved this by switching their connection to DisplayPort and applying the latest firmware patch, restoring stable functionality. A professional gamer using the 49WL95CW monitor encountered VRR blackouts while playing Cyberpunk 2077. The problem was fixed by updating to firmware version 5.9 and adjusting GPU settings to cap the maximum refresh rate, preventing VRR-related instability. These real-world examples demonstrate that most black screen issues on LG gaming monitors can be resolved through firmware updates and proper configuration adjustments, particularly for VRR settings. Experts estimate that 60% of black screen issues are firmware-related. Stay proactive with firmware updates. Monitor-specific profiles in GPU drivers can also prevent VRR blackouts. The future holds more stable VRR with HDMI 2.1.4, potentially eliminating these issues. Older monitors may receive fewer updates, pushing users toward warranty claims or replacements.